I want to paint some papers today. This is what I do when I want to do something but I don't really know what to do. I'll just kind of scrape some paint onto papers, and then sometimes I'll use them. You know, I'll pull from them and use them for collage or layering or bind them into a book or whatever. And sometimes I don't. You know, I've got that option to use them or not. I just like the process of making them. So I'm going to do that today, and I do have kind of some ideas in my mind. I'm thinking I want to make a book out of them. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever made, is this little book. And it's just painted papers, and I painted them, and then I doodled them, and I glued stuff on them. And part of the process is on a couple of live streams that I did. This, I think, was like, I don't know, six or 7 years ago. And it's still one of my favorite things, just because of all the color and the pattern. And I just remember how much fun this was to do, and then how much fun it was to use. So I think I want to put together something maybe similar to this. Now, the papers that I've been using are these really thin papers. It's kind of like dictionary pages, but it's out of this book, American Library Directory. And this one was from my public library. It was something they no longer need or use, so they donated it to me for my art endeavors. And the pages of it are thin, kind of like, you know, a dictionary. If you get one of those big dictionaries, yeah, it's kind of like that. They're super thin, so it's like not as transparent as deli paper, but kind of close to that. And I like the way it sounds and it feels and it looks. So this is what I've been using a lot of, but they're super thin. So I don't know how well that would hold up to a book, especially if I want to do more stuff on the pages, you know, glue things to them or whatever. So I thought I might mix that with just some cheap copy paper and use that for the pages, like alternate them or whatever. So I thought I might paint up some of this copy paper, and then I thought I might turn on the camera while I do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to paint paper, and I'm going to paint it pretty much like I've painted it before. This is nothing new. This is just running the camera while I'm doing stuff. You know, maybe we can chat. I don't know. Anyway, I'll show you what I do, and then I'll do it. Well, I'm not tracking real good today. Let's just see how this goes. So normally when I do this, I lay out my paints in sometimes like kind of sort of rainbow order, you know, Roy B. Give. I forget which one he is, but anyway, I'll put it in that order or not. I just kind of make sure that like orange and green are not sitting next to each other, because, you know, if the two of these hook up, you get like this really unholy child. You don't want to have to deal with that. So keep those separate, but, you know, everything else is kind of okay. So I just kind of spread these out. Let's do pink, orange, yellow, blue, green. Yeah, we'll do it like that. And I don't have a pink or a green color that I really like. Y'all, if you know of anybody who's having a paint sale online, any kind of paint, you know, I don't want super expensive art quality paint. Just lumpy, gross craft paint is fine with me, clearly. I really need to invest in some pinks and some greens. I have pink and green paint. They're just not the colors that I want right now. Oh, okay, that one's liquid. So yeah, if you know of someone who's got a paint sale happening, let me know so I can go and get me some pinks and greens that I like and will use. So use what you've got. This is what I've got. You can use craft paint. You can use your fancy art paints. Just whatever. Use whatever colors you want. I usually have a minimum of 5. Sometimes I'll put 8 or 9 on there, you know. I'm just feeling extra rainbowy. Whatever. And then I'm using a hotel key card. You can use a credit card, whatever. And then some paper, and that's kind of all you need. You do need kind of a palette. This is just a plastic cheap palette I got somewhere. You can use those like palette sheets. You can use a plastic plate. You can use a piece of freezer paper or wax paper. Sometimes I just use a piece of like deli wrap or something. It's not really, you know, a palette. But when you get through using it, you've got this piece of painty paper. You know, it looks a little kind of like this. So really, this is the look that I'm going for. But, you know, without having to do something else to get this look, because you only get this look after you do something else on top of it. This is, you know, it's my drop paper. So yeah, I like the drop paper look. Without having to figure out what to do to get it. Now, I'm going to take this. I've done this in different ways, but you really just kind of spread it out a little bit. Like that. It's just easier to grab. And then I take my card and kind of lay it in the paint like that, and then do whatever. This is, you just kind of have to, it's really done by feel. Let me see if I can get this all in the frame so you can see how I'm picking it up. Just get a little bit on there, and then you can dab it on, you can swipe it on, you can do whatever, but just this kind of messy like that gives the look I'm going for. See, it's kind of like this. And I can go back and put more layers, but I mean, this is just good to start with. Just get some paint on there to start with. So my pink, I'm not really picking up much pink. Let's see. Will it come out the, no. I've got like a giant goober in here, I think. There. Oh. Man, there's a lot going on in that little container. All right. And I do try to avoid making mud, but if it happens, you know, I just kind of let it happen, and then I can go back later and do something over it. This orange is not making me happy. I might need to try a different orange. And I'm using both sides of the paper right now because I'm thinking I might do a book, you know, and fold my sheets. So we'll just see how that goes. I'm also kind of leaving a lot of white space because, again, I don't really know where I'm going with this. So I want options to put busy patterns on top, and I don't really want them getting lost in a busy background. And these, there's usually, you know, with all the scraping, there's not a whole lot of paint on there. So I don't even bother with laying them out individually. I do just kind of stack them. And if a little bit sticks here and there, that's no big deal. I'm not fussy about that. And let's see, what can I do to that orange to make it better? I don't even know. Okay. I need to put my craft mat down so my pages don't stick to this. Since I'm doing both sides, that could be an issue. This takes no time at all to get a good stack of awesomeness. And you're really not using a whole lot of paint either, because it goes on thin. And you just have to kind of tilt your card to get it all off of there. And I like the messy, grungy look. And keep going. That one's pretty. This goes really fast, and you can, you know, watch TV or listen to an audiobook or put on someone else's videos and let them be your background noise, or turn on your camera and film it. It's just kind of mindless. So yeah, you've got options. Now if I get bored of these same colors over and over again, I can go back to my palette and add something else. Like maybe I've got this quinacridone violet that I like, and get that off of there. Best place to put it is probably not next to that green. So of course, that's where I'm going to put it. There's not much of that green left anyway, so let's just see how that works. I don't know what it is about this just messy, scraped icky look that I love, but I really do. I really, really like it. I may have gotten a little heavy-handed with that one. I'll show you what I do if I know right away that, yeah, that's not going to work for me. Get the rest of this off of here. I'll have some white on hand, whatever white you've got. This is a titanium white. Stick it over here on the side of my palette. And if I feel like I've covered too much space, I got too much color, maybe it got muddy, too muddy in an area, then I'll just pick up some of this white, and this will be like white out, you know. This is my gesso. If it's just too much color, I'll just dab a little of it on. If it's muddy, I might scrape it kind of thick. Then I get back some of that white space that I covered up too much of. So I hope you are kind of getting the idea here, because I could just sit here for an hour doing these, but it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. You know, I'll switch up colors now and then. And this is just, I find this very fun. I find it relaxing. I like the results. Very little effort. No skill required. That's my favorite kind of thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll do a few more and then I'll flip through some of my favorites at the end, and then I'll figure out what to do with all these. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. I'll be back. I used up all the paint on my palette, more or less, and I have a nice stack of Painty papers that make me super happy. There were a couple that I thought I kind of overdid, so I went back in with some white and kind of toned it down a little bit. There's one. This one got kind of muddy down here, but that white just fixed it right up. Yeah, it hides it. And the back of this one is way too much coverage, but look how gorgeous it is. I can't cover it up. It's just, it's lovely. I really love it. So yeah, I'm leaving it. So I'm going to figure out what to do with all these. But right now I'm going to clean off my palette. And what I did last time is I just sprayed some alcohol on it and then just soaked it up. And it's actually kind of cool. It's, you know, maybe a little bit muddy, but still fun. And yeah, it just kept getting lighter and lighter. So I'm going to do that again. And I've got just some rubbing alcohol. I use 91%. I don't know that it would matter much here. And then I'll just spray just to loosen that up good. I tried it with water too, and that didn't work as well as the alcohol, because the alcohol will kind of loosen even the stuff that's sort of dry. So I'll take a piece of paper, lay it down in there. And then let's just see what it'll pick up. Kind of cool. Do it again. wonder if maybe I need to, you know, do this. Will that help anything? I don't know. Not just make it too muddy under there. Guess we'll find out. Oop. That's cool. It's kind of hard to tell because the alcohol is, you know, does funky things to the paper. But then when it dries, I've got another piece of painty paper I can use. No need to waste all this good painty goodness. There's still usable stuff on here. I wonder if this will do anything. Who knows? So that's kind of a 2-for-1. You sort of clean off your palette and you get one more painty paper sheet. So I'm going to sit and play with these and then see if I can come up with some kind of a book or something to make out of them. I don't know, a junk journal or just a little painty mixed media book like that other one I did. You know, just whatever ends up making me happy. And then I'll come back and maybe we'll work on it a little bit more. So, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. The end.